What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so I want to piggyback off something that Ticket talked about in the video last night. Shout out to Ticket, and if you're not subscribed to Ticket TV, please subscribe to Ticket TV. He was talking about how this situation now, the NBA, of course, yesterday suspended the season in an unprecedented move by the NBA due to the the virus outbreak. And since then, all the other pro sports leagues have followed suit. And now today, the NBA announced that the suspension will be at least 30 days. Now, I hope people don't misinterpret that as saying, okay, well, the NBA will be back by April the 10th. What's going to happen is they're going to have a 30-day suspension. And then perhaps April the 11th, April the 12th, something like that, they're going to have another meeting in which they're going to reassess the situation and determine what further actions they're going to have. Now, this is just a guess. I don't know. Hopefully this thing gets contained quickly and we can move on in a month. But if you look at the pattern of what's going on throughout the world, China and over in Europe, I would be willing to guess that we're not going to see basketball anytime next month. Now, I'm saying, look, I'm not saying that I'm right, but if you look at the fact that in China, this thing started in December, and here we are in March, and it's still affecting them, though they're on a downslope. So you're talking about 3 months, a 3 month period. It started in January or February over in Europe, and it's really hitting them now. It's like peaking, and we're just starting over here. So I mean, if you look at the patterns of this virus throughout the world, I don't feel optimistic that we're going to see basketball in April. That's just a guess. Matter of fact, I just was watching something on television where in Seattle, like in the Washington area, they're getting hit hard, right? And right now they have like close to 1,000 cases or so in the Seattle, Washington area. That's where it's like a big cluster of viral activity, right? And she was saying if the way things are going, the way that they are not addressing this issue properly in the United States, doctors in that area are guesstimating that within a month, there may be 25,000 virus cases in Seattle alone with approximately 800 deaths. That's just in Seattle. So to get a scope of how bad this thing can get, that should tell you something. So, but changing gears, talking about LeBron. LeBron was having a magnificent season. He was an MVP candidate, even though he wasn't my leading candidate. In fact, I don't even think he was the best player on his team. I think Anthony Davis is the best player on his team. But still, he was amongst the MVP candidates. This was his 17th season. It would have been a historic season for someone of that far into their career and at that age. Very few players have been playing at this level, both at his age and this far into their careers. The only guy with a comparable season in his 17th season would be Kobe. And the only few players I can think of that were putting up the numbers that he's putting up at age 35, off the top of my head, would be Kobe, of course, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Karl Malone, players of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? Very rare. So, and plus, LeBron was on a team that was arguably the best team in the league, arguably. They had the second best record in the NBA. They just came off of uh, huge wins against both the Milwaukee Bucks, who have the consensus leading perennial, the consensus leading MVP candidate Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then a big victory against the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, against a team that's considered the Lakers' rival and against LeBron's chief rival, Kawhi Leonard. And now, all of a sudden, the season is kaput for the moment. Now, I mean, the season could come back. The season, could be picked up maybe in May, but you don't know what's going to happen. And then after a while, you got to worry about the timetable for next season. Will it get to the point where what that's another discussion, but it's a possibility they may just scratch the season and then start from next year. They did it in Major League Baseball when we had the strike in '94. In '94, the Montreal Expos had the best record in Major League Baseball. All right, a team that had they don't exist anymore, but they had the best record in baseball, if memory serves me correctly. Okay, and many Montreal Expos fans felt they were cheated out of a World Series. Matt Williams was on pace to break, at the time, Roger Maris's home run record. That season was scratched. And Tony Gwynn, at the time that the strike occurred, was batting .394. He was on pace to challenge Ted Williams to become, the next guy, or to break Ted Williams' streak of being the last player to bat .400 for a season. So a lot of things got disrupted that season. All right, that could never be rectified. So the thing is, if this season gets scratched, right, what happens to LeBron's legacy, and how could it be affected by that? If he was to win if he was to win a fifth MVP and to win a fourth championship, you have to put him in your top five at that point. I mean, it would make no sense. He would have won as many MVPs as Abdul-Jabbar, Russell, and Jordan. Well, one less than Abdul-Jabbar, but as many as Russell and Jordan, who's usually in everybody's top 10. Okay. So with MVPs, he would have had 5. And if he won the championship, this has been his 4th championship that would tie him with Shaquille O'Neal. So there's no way that you wouldn't have LeBron James somewhere in your top 10, at the very fucking least. Okay? At the very least, being the 3rd all-time leading scorer right now, 8th all-time in assists, probably top 30 in rebounds. I don't know, I haven't looked at the list, but somewhere in that range, maybe top 30, top 50, I don't know. But somewhere in that range, all right? No matter how you feel about him, this would have been a great year, because if this season gets scratched and you go into next year, that would be his 18th season. And you don't know how his body's going to be going into an 18th season. As you can see with a guy like Peyton Manning in the past, and now you've seen it with Tom Brady, when you go, you go. And you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen. Even if you guys believe he's taking PEDs, right? Even if he's taking PEDs, but some people suspect a lot of NBA players are doing, after a while, that's not even going to help you. When your body breaks down, it's going to break down. Okay? Whether it's through age or injuries or both. So you don't know how it's going to be in the 18th season. You don't know how much this season will take. If this season is scratched, how much mentally that's going to take out of him. Okay? Then you got to look at the fact that Anthony Davis is a free agent after this year. So there's no guarantee that he's going to come back. If I wanted to bet, I think he would come back, but there's no guarantee of that. Plus, Kevin Durant's back next year. All right, so he's back in the picture. He's going to be with the Brooklyn Nets. They're going to be an improved team. Plus, every team that's younger right now, the Dallas Mavericks, the Utah Jazz. I don't like to bring up Houston because I don't know what's going on with them. But all, what I'm saying. But all these other younger teams, the Miami Heat, Philly, if they can ever get that shit together. The point is, all these other teams are going to inch up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Luka Doncic gets another year on his belt. Trae Young, they're awful, but I can't help but think they'll be a little better next year. And the biggest thing I'm missing is the regrouping of the Golden State Warriors. They're going to have some good picks next year. Okay, Clay comes back. Steph comes back. All right, Draymond and his fucking mouth is all going to be back next year. So they're in the picture. So if you're the Lakers, this was your opportunity. This was your year of dominance. And if it's taken away from you guys, Laker fans and LeBron fans, it's terrible. It will be a terrible, unfortunate blow. You know what I'm saying? Terrible. It'll just be a terrible, unfortunate blow to LeBron. Because I know LeBron fans, they feel like they've been fucked quite a few times. 2015, they feel like that if their team was not without Love and Irving, they would have won that title. You know what I'm saying? They feel fucked out of that one. So yeah, if Boston wasn't in the way in the Cleveland years, maybe LeBron would have went deeper in the playoffs. Maybe he would have competed against, Kobe, in the finals. You don't know. So it's like LeBron's had a great career, but he's also had some patches of bad luck. So yeah, man, if this happens, if the season ends up being scratched on a permanent basis due to the ongoing virus situation, it could be a potentially it could pretty much help to destroy any legitimate GOAT conversations with LeBron. I mean, there's still be people that's going to think he's the GOAT for whatever reason, but if he doesn't win that fourth championship, and to a lesser extent that fifth MVP award, it really would hurt him as far as GOAT conversation. And like I said, going into next year, you'll be in your 18th season, and you're asking him to replicate what he did this year when he'll be 35 going on 36. I don't know, man. Come and tell y'all guys something, man. Physically, me personally, like up until I was about 36, right? I felt young. I felt pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really feel any signs of feeling old. I felt like I was in my 20s, all the way up until I was about 36. The one time I noticed I was sitting down when I was about 36. Yeah, I think I was 36 going on 37. I was sitting down, right, on like one of those, what you call it, like a stoop or whatever. And I got up, back got a little tight. Like, what the fuck is that? I used to always just get right the fuck up, So, okay, well, maybe I hurt my back or something. Nope, starting to get old. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm 39 and all of a sudden, like it's just arthritis. You know what I'm saying? I have a genetic predisposition to arthritis. And now all of a sudden, it hit me. So basically my point is, you don't know when LeBron's body is just going to start breaking down from an athletic standpoint. So this is, you know what I'm saying? If you're a Laker fan, man, you hope that this thing gets rectified within 30 days, and maybe they do resume basketball mid-April. You know, and maybe they're able to, just play until July instead of June. Maybe that's a situation they can do, or just play deeper into the summer. But the only thing about it, it wouldn't give players who play deep in the playoffs much rest and recovery for next season. If the playoffs went into July or August or even September, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the finals happens in September and then training camp is in fucking 2 weeks, like, what the fuck? You're not really getting any time to enjoy your championship. So I don't know, man. We'll see what goes on, man. We'll see what happens, man. But tell me what you guys think.